Hello, Cindy here with Create Your Own Luck and Love. I'm super excited to chat with you guys today about the 5 signs he's playing mind games. I work with women around opening their hearts to receive the love that resonates with them. That's authentic love. So I gotta plug in my computer. Hold on. Don't know why I didn't do this earlier, but anyways, it's take 2. So first, what are mind games? They're calculated behaviors that one or both partners use to either intimidate or undermine the validity of their own experience, okay? So it's basically twisting facts to create a doubts in the other person. I'd be curious to know if you've been in a relationship or you've been dating where you feel like there's mind games. You feel like he's playing games. So I'm gonna talk about, this is the most common thing I hear from women. And I want to shed some light around this and then talk about the 5 signs he's playing mind games and exactly what to do about it. So, I work with women all the time around, getting really clear about what it is they want, because that is number one. Your values, what it is you desire in partnership. And then as you're dating, really making sure that those people align. So I hear women share with me that, they start dating someone and he says he wants what she wants. He says he wants a relationship and his actions don't show it. Maybe you guys spend some really great quality time together and then he disappears and then he comes back and he's just, his actions aren't really following through on what his words say. So you want to make sure of that, or he's always making excuses for not being really available. That's, that's a game, really. It could be a subconscious game. It could be, a game of withholding. But the bottom line is that, a healthy partnership, a relationship that's really heading in the right direction, you guys, it's where I always call it, I say the roller coaster. It's kind of like being on a roller coaster, right? So it's like tick, 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 tick. It's going up, going up, going up. But you're constantly moving. You're moving in a solid direction. And you're not backsliding. So, and the rate of speed within which it does progress is different for everyone. So, that there's not really a formula around that. Some people move a little bit quicker, some people move a little bit slower. I usually say move slower in the beginning to move faster later on. But the relationships should be, building and continuing to grow. So there's that particular piece. So me, you guys, I always lose track. So I like to make sure that that I have everything written down here. So an insecure man will try to do things to get your attention or guilt you into giving them more attention. So they might say, oh gosh, you work too late for us to really spend any time together, or you work too much, or you're never around, or you're always talking to your girlfriends, things like that is basically telling you he wants more attention, he's pouting, and it's his way of trying to get control. So usually there's other behaviors that go along with with that insecurity. And, game playing does really come from insecurity, or just the desire to have control over a person. Could be a person, place, or thing. But so I want to talk about the, and the tricky part too, when it comes to, unhealthy relationship patterns or mind games, when you're in it, when you're the one that's in it, you're half of the time you don't even realize it in the moment. Half of the time you're not, you feel as if maybe you're going crazy in a situation, or you start to take on the responsibility of, well, maybe if I would have done this, this would have happened. So, let me know. I'd love to hear a comment below and just say, have you experienced mind games? Do you feel like you have? Or are you experiencing them right now? Just say, if so, just say, put games in there, just to make it fun. We're playing games today. So I want to talk about, the first one is, oh gosh, there's so many. Okay, I want to talk about this one. So there's this one that happens a lot that is called, it's kind of like, it's a nagging or subtle digs at you. Almost like backhanded compliments. So maybe, he comes and he picks you up and he's like, oh, you look really hot in that dress. But those shoes are those new? Like, they just make you question what's, where you're, that. Usually people that do that, backhanded compliments, it's an insecurity for one, to make themselves feel better and have control, and also make you, feel self-conscious. How many of us have, had that happen, and you just feel like, oh my, you feel horrible. And so he may say, something else like, have you gained a little bit of weight? I mean, you look beautiful, but have you gained a little bit of weight? That is the type of thing he may do to attempt to do mind games. It's a way to, like, it's almost a form, it's passive aggressive, and it's a form of really trying to tear down your self-esteem to, at his, building his up, so that you won't feel great about yourself. So maybe you won't leave him, or, there's all kinds of subtle thoughts around this. So the next one is the jealousy. Promoting jealousy. So this one is really around, he's always telling you about other opportunities. Like, oh, I had this woman hit up on me today, at the grocery store, but, I'm with you, or my ex wants to get back together with me. She keeps calling, but I'm with you, and attempts to make you feel jealous. Or he looks at another woman, when you guys are out together. All subtle ways of disrespect and creating mind games. And, in effect, he's like, well, aren't you lucky that I'm with you? Because, I chose you. You should feel so lucky. And so that's another one that is, that's definitely a mind game. Men will play. There's, this one's a big one. Pretending not to care. So it's kind of like the old, I talk a lot about this with my clients around the different types of men you might meet or date. And, a guy that, has his walls up, or he pulls you close and then pushes you away. And, he pretends like he doesn't care. So really is to protect himself. And, again, it can create insecurity. It can create this feeling of like, gosh, I don't, what it creates? It creates a sense of feeling like you've got to prove yourself lovable to this person, because oftentimes there's some really great qualities about this person that, the cause and effect here can really promote some unhealthy behaviors, which become toxic, and, all of that. So pretends like he doesn't care, i.e. withholding. So he could be, withholding emotions, withholding doing nice things for you, even taking you out. He knows you love flowers, just withholding behaviors. And, quite frankly, if you're with somebody that really is open to wanting love and real partnership and is willing to learn, I mean, nobody's perfect. They're going to want to do things that really please you and make you happy, not withhold, to have you constantly trying to, get, work to get something, which is basically the breadcrumbing effect too. So that's another sign he's playing games. The other one that I like to talk about is the silent treatment. Did I talk about that one already? No, I didn't. So the silent treatment, this one along with the next one I'm going to talk about, I think this one is the most painful. Who hates being ignored? I think if you hate being ignored, I would say you're human, because yes, right? If you hate being ignored, I would love it if you would say yes. So the biggest thing about that, being ignored is another game of kind of like withholding, but the sense is, maybe you're trying to assert your feelings or share something that's going on, and they ignore you as to invalidate your feelings. They might avoid they might do the silent treatment to avoid conflict resolution, as well as or compromise. So, and also to avoid taking responsibility of their part. So so that's a really big one. It's and again, that goes back to what I was just sharing around, it can create that insecurity, anxiety within you, making you question, what did I do wrong? Wait, wasn't I trying to share something? What am I feeling? So your feelings don't feel validated. So you don't feel seen or heard. And this is a really dangerous, slippery pathway. Okay. So I don't want that for anyone. There's some other ones that I want to touch on too. There's and I've talked about this lately, him not really bringing you around his friends or family, making excuses for that, because you learn a lot about somebody when you're around their friends. And a person can be whomever they want. They can chameleon themselves when they're one-on-one with you. And oftentimes when that's happening, there's not necessarily the progression of the relationship because it's like you're in a box for them. So, so there's that piece. I want to talk about social media games because this is a big one too. We're all on social media, and you know, maybe you text messaged him and you know, it's been a few hours, he hasn't text messaged you back, and the next thing you know, he's liking your Instagram, you know, your pictures on your Instagram feed. You know, that's a game. It's a mind game. And it's another form of withholding. Could be silent treatment, punishment. It's, you know, it's meant to confuse you. It's meant for you to go, oh, he's kind of interested, but yet he's withholding. So you don't want that. And if there's a pattern of that, now granted, we all get busy. I get busy. I will sometimes look at text messages and then I forget about it. So, you know, it's all about the kind of person that you're with. And, you know, if you have somebody in your life that's more of a phone person that calls, which is always better than text messaging, you know, you just look at what the patterning is and what you see a lot of. So that's a big one. The next one I want to talk about, and this is probably the most difficult one, because you could be, you know, dating someone or getting in a relationship with someone that prefers convenience over compromise, or, you know, just peace and tranquility over problem-solving situations. So this is tough because that person may not have they just might not have the skill set on how to partner. And if they're willing to take a look at that and open up to the possibility of being wrong or partnering or any of that, right? So, you know, let me just give you an example. Maybe, maybe there was maybe he really loves football and he loves going to college football games. He has season tickets. He always wants you to come. And you really want him to come to a theater production with you. And he says he hates theater, right? And he expects you to go to the football games and not the compromise of going to the theater with you. Won't even think of it. And he just kind of glazes over things or ignores it. So if it's convenient for him, it's good. If it causes, you know, any sort of kind of ruffling of feathers or a cause to actually communicate on a deeper level to problem solve things, because relationships are work, people. They all are, no matter what. And they're great because if two people can actually come together and set their grievances aside and really look at what they want to bring to the table and how to partner and how to problem solve, they're awesome. You can actually become a lot closer from problem solving. But there's this, you know, if there's a power struggle, it's going to be difficult. You know, you want to have attraction, you want to have polarity in a relationship, but you also want to be with somebody where they take responsibility and, you know, not only taking responsibility, but it's like, you know, there's sometimes where men will even shut down and because they don't know how to do it, they've never really done it before, and they might say, oh, you're not happy about this, this isn't going to work. So their emotional intelligence may not be there to problem solve. And if you learn how to, and this is something I work with my clients around, communicate with a man in a feminine manner so that he doesn't feel attacked or defensive, that opens up the door to some just real beautiful things. And I can tell you this, you know, if you don't have somebody actually following through with the action and, you know, really wanting to communicate with you when you are taking those steps, you can't do anything about it. So you are worthy of moving on to someone that actually treats you really amazingly. You know, think about your best friend. What would you want for her? Or I also think about a child. You know, how do you treat a child? You love them, you try to listen to them, or at least I do with mine, unless he's screaming, sometimes he is. But, you know, you want to, you know, validate them. There's an unconditional side. And that's the piece that you want to take a look at. You know, if someone's not willing to go there, it's really, really difficult. So I hope this helps, ladies, and I just support you guys in really opening up your heart to this deeper work to create your own luck and love, to really have what you want, breaking relationship patterns. I work with women on that all the time. So I hope this helped. And if you feel like a lady needs to hear about this, please share. I would love to continue to spread the love and support, you know, many hearts and their breakthroughs around really creating lasting love and a partnership that's healthy for you. Sending so much love. Have an amazing day. If you're on IGTV, thank you for coming. And if you are on YouTube, thank you for coming. You can follow my almost daily lives. Just hit the subscribe button and feel free to listen any old time. Bye, everyone.